Hey, peace and love, family. This is Sam Thousand. Hope y'all are doing well out there. This is Soundboard Saturdays. Happy Saturday to you all. It's a beautiful Saturday in Chicago. Let me get some of this music on just a little bit, just so I can have a little background music here. Man, so I haven't done this in a while. I used to do this every Saturday when we released the app, the Shabrations app. But yeah, we're looking to bring this back because we have a lot of really cool things happening with Shabrations. First of all, the app is still here. The app is available for Android and iPhone. This is an app to centralize the performance art community throughout Greater Chicago through open mics, jam sessions, and workshops. There are various types of workshops and jam sessions and open mics that exist throughout the city. Whether it be creatively for musicians, for comedians, for theater people, for poets and writers and storytellers. And we have a workshop coming up and a jam session coming up this Tuesday at the Portal. As you may know, we've been doing the Portal for the last year. And we have a special guest today that's going to be talking with us about what we're going to be doing for the Portal. But real quick, regarding the app, before I bring our special guests up, regarding the app, I do want to mention that we recently just won in the Southside Pitch Competition. We just won 3 awards for the development of the app. So we will be reaching out to our community to get the community more involved with what the new app is going to be looking like. What are some features that you're looking to have on the app? Because this is going to be your app. This is going to be for the community. So we're looking forward to that. If you haven't showed love on our post on Instagram, go ahead and go to Instagram and show love on that post for us winning those 3 awards for this pitch competition, for the Southside Pitch Competition. So yeah, we are really excited about that and just grateful for the support that the community has been showing. We know that this is something that has been needed for a long time. And hey, it's time to use today's technology, you know what I'm saying, to solve our common problems, you know? And speaking of solving problems and really just leaning into creating solutions, I'm so excited to bring in our guest for today. He's going to be at the Portal this coming Tuesday, which is going to be around restorative culture. That's going to be our theme this coming Tuesday. We'll have a live band, we'll have some vendors, we'll have interactive media, we'll have a gaming station. And you'll find out more about what Shabrations has going on. There'll also be some food. And yeah, we're just going to have a good time. You know what I'm saying? Just gathering on the South Side. Once again, this happens in North Woodlawn at Experimental Station. This is 6100 South Blackstone from 7 to 10. This is completely free for the community. So come on out, y'all. Come on out. You don't want to miss it. If you're out there, show some love in the comments. I see some people. What's up, Jose Ramos? What's up? Hi to you. Yes, we're live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Thank you all for showing love. Without any further ado, I'm going to bring to the stage my brother, who has been he's been dedicating his life and his career to restorative culture, and we're excited to have him at the Portal this coming Tuesday. He's going to tell us a little bit more about himself and also what to expect. So y'all please show some love to Parrish Brown Jr. Hey.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate you. Glad to be here.
Yes, sir. What's up, man? How you feeling? How you feeling today?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. Had me some good breakfast, relaxing, and just taking care of myself today. So I'm feeling the best.
That's what's up, man. Glad you're feeling the best, man. And so I just want to get into it real soon. But I want to just check in. Like you're from Chicago, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. Can you talk about just where you're from, your neighborhood, and even like what's one of your fondest childhood memories in Chicago?
Yeah, I was born on the west side of Chicago in K-Town. So that's where I'm originally from. But I was raised all my life on the south side of Chicago in North Kenwood. And one of the most favorite memories I can remember is being on the west side. If you all know Moo and Oink, that commercial, I remember like being a child and going there, just seeing a lot of people, chilling with the family, and then heading home. So that was a decent.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's what's up. Yeah, I heard about Illinois. It's kind of regional. We got I grew up in Houston, and we got our, places that no one's heard of unless you, grew up in Houston. So I know that it's Roanoke is pretty particular to the west side, in the city, man. So that's what's up. That's what's up. All right, man. Well, I got a few questions we're gonna ask you, and then also if you're in the comments, just show some love. Say what's up. We see you here. Some folks on Facebook, Instagram, and also YouTube. Let me go ahead and check on Instagram real quick. Yeah, we got some folks tuning in. All right, so what we're gonna do is just a couple questions I got for you. So first of all, you have a bachelor's degree in urban studies and have dedicated lots of your career to taking the lead in solving civic problems, both macro and micro, with our Black communities. What does it mean to be a restorative organizer? And how did this work lead you to founding Good Looking Out?
Well, thank you so much for that powerful question. I'll start kind of giving my story. Um, and I actually started with community organizing. So when I moved to the South Side in 2004, my mom was just taking us to go enroll in school in our attendance boundary. And that school was called Florence B. Price Elementary. But me and my little brother, as we were walking back home after we enrolled, we saw a flyer that said that the school, but actually the nonprofit organization in the community was having a back to school jam. So this was before back to school jams were popular, and we ended up going. It was like free book bags, free food, free music, folks just having a good time, and they were letting us know that they're going to be doing youth programming in the school. So about time 2006 comes, they're running a Boys to Men program, and I ended up joining that program because the catch was you could play basketball in the morning while also building a brotherhood with people that you went to school with. But at the same time, the organization, it was called the Kenwood Oakland Community Organization, and they taught us how to plan our own events. They taught us what it means to be a boy, what does it mean to be a man, and then they got us involved in policy. So we were working with a bill called Public Act 1225 that we actually got passed in 2010, and that's called the Community Youth Employment Act. So we got 5,000 summer jobs for the state of Illinois, so that young people will learn how to get a job. So it also made companies make sure that we go on field trips, learn how to do resumes, and etc. And flash forward, a lot of my activism, my organizing came out after that. But literally 2000, the end of 2010 is happening, and then we hear about 50 schools that were slated to be closed. So 50 schools closed in Chicago in 2013. We heard the announcement in 2010. So I had to spend 4 years organizing to keep my high school open, and that high school was called Walter H. Dyer High School on the South Side in Washington Park. So as young people, we did sit-ins, press conferences. We filed Title VI civil rights complaints with the Advancement Project in Washington, D.C. We did anything we can name to get that school open until we inspired parents, community organizers, and teachers to go on a 34-day hunger strike to get that school reopened. And we won $16 million in reinvestments in 2016. And that school is open today, and I actually get to work up there. But flash forward, and at the same time, just to mention this too, we were fighting for a level 1 trauma center at the University of Chicago. So while I was fighting for my school, we wanted a trauma center on the south side of Chicago because we had a young brother by the name of Damian Turner who was shot maybe, I would say, 5 minutes away from the University of Chicago. And because they didn't have a trauma center, they had to bus him. I mean, not bus him, but transport him maybe to like Northwestern, going all the way up on the east side, going up north. And he passed away in an ambulance. And also, my brother was shot right in front of the building on the south side. So we got involved in that to make sure that we got into the incident. go um, uh, to a trauma center that's near them. So I spent a lot of time organizing. We won that too. So there's been a level one trauma center at the University of Chicago for about 5 to 6 years at this point, but don't quote me on that. But long story short, I got involved into restorative justice because as we were doing that work, it was actually very traumatic. So we needed to learn about skills on how we can build positive relationships, how we can heal. So it's two black women by the name of Cheryl Graves and Pamela Purdy who taught us how to hold circles in a building and how to navigate through conflict. So they trained me for 4 days when I was 15, but they also stayed in the community. So they trained me again when I was 17, 19, 22, and 25 until I was able to do the work myself. So I currently work in schools, teaching adults and children how to build positive relationships, how to get along, how to treat each other, how to navigate through conflict. And that's pretty much my work. So we over at Hyde Park Academy High School. If you heard of that school, we at Inglewood STEM High School. We at Diet High School, teaching people how to build relationships, how to treat each other well.
Man, that's what's up, bro. Yo, not new to this, true to this, man. Like being trained by those giants at 15 is amazing. Yeah, so really just thank you, for your time and joining us today, and also just for your service. You know what I'm saying? Your service to the community. Somebody has to do the work. It's about sacrifice. There's a lot of um, systems and programs in place that we were beneficiaries of because of folks who set that up for us, right?
Mm.
So I think that is just super commendable for you to be, stepping into the role, being charged, because of the personal matters and that, you were kind of pulled into it just because it was personal. And it was happening in your neighborhood and with your family, but also that you are sticking to it and you are being true to it. So thank you. Here's another question. So the reason why I want to have you at the portal, with the portal, we do a jam session, but we also have panels and workshops and discussions about just how we can just better thrive as a collective breath and, creating solutions for our collective self. So I want to ask you this in particular. The artist community has dealt with a lot of person to person trauma that is
Mm.
permeated into the community as a whole. Some of these instances are misunderstandings or wrongdoings, while these other instances are like just all out just atrocities. Can you speak of like the negative and positive of the community involvement with these individual conflicts? And then how much of a role does individual healing and forgiveness play in finding collective peace?
Wow, that's a beautiful question. Very complex one. So I'll
Mhm.
talk about it in different points. And I do want to state as well, as the artist community is dealing with this, all communities are dealing with conflict. Conflict is at an all-time high, whether you're in the organizing community, queer spaces, schools, families, conflict is just prevalent, especially in the times that we are in. And I want to start with a lot of people's relationship to restorative justice, restorative culture, restorative practices, whatever you may call it, is that it is only a response to conflict and harm. So when something happens, that is when we intervene. And the work that I teach, which is restorative culture, whether I'm with family, schools, or corporations, is that it's really about how we build positive relationships. It's about intention. It's about how we treat each other. So we have a saying, the more I know you, the least likely I am to harm you. That doesn't mean conflict won't exist, but it does mean I'll think before I act because I know something about you. So when we talk about intention, when you join a community and when you are a part of the space, what are your intentions with the people that are already there? And then what are your intentions on a daily basis on how you treat the people that are there? Because if you harm or you hurt somebody in any space, it's going to impact everyone because what we all share in common is that space in that community. So it's important to think about what are our intentions when we come into a space. Um, and we also think about how do you create space for conflict. I always share this story to back up a bit, and it's about the power of a good morning. And I was working at this school. I said good morning to this young sister in the school, and she looked at me like I was crazy. And in that moment, I was like, "Oh, you don't say good morning to people? Why don't you say good morning?" But I didn't take it to heart. But I made sure to walk around the entire school, and I paid attention. Basically, I was being observant on how every adult introduced themselves or interacted with students or other adults in the building. And what I found out about that community culture is that nobody said good morning to each other. So how can I blame a child for not saying good morning when the environment that is set for them is where people don't really engage in that as much.
Mhm.
The next week she sees me, I carry water and chips on me because I know adults and students be starving in the building because they don't usually eat the lunch food or they might not bring a lunch. So she sees me in the hallway and was like, "I'm dehydrated. I need something to eat." And in that moment, I could have been like, "Remember that time I said good morning to you and you didn't say nothing back?" But all I have to say, I'm an adult and I know how to treat people, and you don't hold people to those things. And I gave her the water and the chips, but this time she told me what her name was. And I told her my name was Brother Parrish, and I just check in on people and I make sure people are well and I create space for people to navigate through conflict. Next week she sees me, she said, "Can you help me with my fast?" And I'm like, "Why won't you just go talk to your counselor?" But then me being observant, I found out it was two counselors to 650 students. So she never even met her counselor, right? But because I built relationships with everybody in the building by saying good morning and introducing myself and giving or like food giving, whatever it may be, I was able to walk that student over to her counselor. And now we're all building relationships. That student gets what she needs. But at the same time, the counselor pulls me to the side and say, "Hey, I got a list. I'm not going to get to everybody until like months later. So if you can bring people to me like that, that's important. And if you got any resources, please let me know." And because I knew some people at Chicago State University and they needed students uh, to help them with their FAFSA, I brought them over to the school so that we had like a 90% rate of completion when it came to FAFSA. Next week she sees me. "I heard you got a youth council." And all that to say, none of that would have happened if I didn't say what, which was good morning, right? So it's power in relationship building, it's power. Another piece is too, if we don't know each other, we have to want to be accountable. Like if somebody does something, they have to have already been in a space where they understand that accountability is going to happen and that will help them be more willing to even be accountable in those spaces if they cause hurt or harm. And I also share with people too is that more organizations as a whole need to implement restorative culture practice. I'm sorry, to implement restorative culture practices. Um, which we'll be talking about at the Shibrations event on Tuesday to help prevent conflict and to help reduce it. The intentions have to be right from the beginning to to even create space for conflict. I definitely want to add that to people. So it's really about intentions. It's how we build positive relationships, and it's about being willing to be accountable. So that's why whenever we have circles, we create values where people can talk about this stuff up front. So if something happens, we're actually able to do something about it moving forward. So I hope that helps. But we do this work with families, we do this work with schools, we do this work with nonprofit organizations, anybody. It's all about how we treat each other.
Yes, definitely. Man, we are excited to have you on Tuesday at the portal for this restorative cultural workshop. For anyone who's just watching or who may see this between now and then, can you maybe just let them know what to expect and even how to prepare?
Okay. So you can expect gems to be dropped in a transformational workshop. We will be encouraging folks to implement some of these practices in their life. They're very important. So, like, we even give a quick one I can share with you is the power of a check in. My mom to this day calls me every single day. And I'd be like, "Man, you got a husband, you got two other kids. Why you keep hitting me up? You got stuff going on." But then I had to slow up and think about it. how many people will call me to just ask how I'm doing today without being transactional? That list was very small. I only got two people, and that's my mom. And then that's my significant other who just naturally checks in on me just because, right? So I had to learn how to embrace. But the importance of that check in is that's how you know what's going on with people, right? And it's an invitation for you to check in on people that you probably haven't checked in on a while. And when you check in on people, people will check in on you, right? So we'll be talking about those different practices and why that's important. And we'll be having a community builder as well, so people can win like a Visa card prize by participating in an icebreaker that you can actually take to your school community, to your family, for people to build relationships and get to know each other. So folks will be getting strategies. Um, we'll be selling merch there as well, shameless plug. And also we'll be inviting people to come work with us with Good Looking Out. We bring people into schools to sit in circle with young people, to learn from young people, so that you'll learn more about yourselves and then learn about how young people show up in space. And I would say the last thing I would love to leave you all with is this quote by Maya Angelou. And it really speaks to like restorative culture and how you treat people. And it goes, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Right. So that's really about how we treat people, how we show up, and being intentional when we walk into spaces, even if we don't know people. So that's what I want to share with you all. And I'm going to swing it back to you, Sam.
Yeah, man, I really appreciate that quote. I love that quote. Man, thank you so much for spending some time with us today and just letting us know a little bit about your story, about the work you do, and about what we can expect on Tuesday at the portal. For those who are watching this later or in between, come to the portal. It's happening on Tuesday, October 28th. 7 to 10, y'all, at Experimental Station, 6100 South Blackstone. Come on out. It's a free event. There'll be some food and light bites. There'll be a jam session. We're going to get free, y'all. You know we like to get free. So there'll be a jam session. There's going to be a restorative cultural workshop with Parrish Brown Jr. There'll also be interactive media, a gaming station with Sugar Gamers, some vendors, an art wall as well, presented by ILA Creative Studios. So we'll have a lot of opportunity to just get involved and be in community with each other, but then also have some conversation and be empowered. Be empowered. You know, that's what I love about what you're doing as well, Parrish, is that you're not only showing us, you know, different ways to navigate in restorative culture, but you're also empowering us to do this in our own communities. And as you said, you know, this type of conflict, it occurs in so many different communities, in all communities, really. So we're just happy and just fortunate and grateful, you know what I'm saying, to have your expertise, brother. You got decades of experience.
I appreciate that.
For sure. Well, man, much love, and we'll see you on Tuesday.
Likewise. See y'all soon. And thank you for the vibrations. And thank you, Sam. This was a great opportunity. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all this upcoming Tuesday. Until we meet again.
Yes. Peace and love, brother.
Peace.
Once again, come on out, y'all, on Tuesday at the portal. We will be having a good time just networking with each other. It's happening once again at Experimental Station, 6100 South Blackstone. You can come on out and just be free. You know, it'll be a jam session, an art wall, there'll be interactive media, there will be a gaming station, there will be vendors, there will be conversation. And there will be vibes, y'all. There will be vibes. We always got vibes, and it's because of you. It's because of our community that comes out. This is on the south side of Chicago, which is kind of rare for jam sessions. We don't have too many of them on the south side. So this is for us. You know what I'm saying? So come on out. Also, if you're on the west side, come on out as well. We have folks on the west side come and vibe with us. We are definitely trying to make our way to the west side in the new year. So more information on that coming. But it's going to start with us just featuring more west side artists as well. because there is such love between both sides of the city. These are two cities in Chicago that are predominantly Black, that have a lot of history with the Black community. So yeah, we're just trying to build bridges, you know what I'm saying, and be more of a solution for our collective self. Once again, if you do not have the Cybrations app, you should check out the Cybrations app. It's available in app stores for iOS and Android. Check this out. This is your number one destination for open stage events. We're talking about open mics, jam sessions, and workshops. Now, this is for the performing arts community. Once again, this is not just for musicians. I know I'm a musician and many people know me as a musician, but this is for all of the performing arts sectors, for music, dance, comedy, poetry, storytelling, theater, even puppetry. We've had puppetry workshops, we've had dance workshops on the app. We've had jam sessions for theater people, like improv sessions. These are on the app. So, and these are all community submitted. So if you go to the app and you see that there's an event that is one of these types of events that aren't on here, you can upload it yourself if you're the curator, or share it with the curator and say, hey, your event needs to be on this app. And then finally, I just want to recap, if you're just checking in with us, this past Thursday, not this past Thursday, actually last Thursday, Cybrations was a part of Southside Pitch, and we went home with 3 awards, one of which was a community award, which was everyone in the room voted on their favorite pitch. Another of which was the Social Impact Award, which meant that our pitch had the most social impact. And then we placed second place overall out of 160 applicants, y'all. So we're so grateful for your support, and we're so happy to get this prize money, because this is going to help us further develop the app. So go ahead and get in now. If you don't have the app, download the app on the App Store for iOS or Android. And we want you to get involved with this. Okay. All right. So once again, we're at the portal on Tuesday. Come to the portal. This is at Experimental Station. We will see you there. Thank you so much for all the love and just for being such a wonderful community to partner with and to jam with and to vibe with. We're looking forward to seeing you there. Peace and love. My brother Nordine, peace and love, brother. Peace and love.